This is the second time I have selected a topic and started writing a script for it, just for a top player to sit down and play the game. RyuK in the past week has set over 30 number 1 scores, 3 of his top 10 scores, and over time has built one of the most optimized profiles in the top 10. RyuK is a Canadian player who joined in April 2015 who initially concentrated on aim, but then started practicing speed in 2018. Because of his foundation with aim, he has been able to synergize that with his speed skills, making many more kinds of maps possible for himself. Some of his scores include his freefall VIP Hidden Double Time FC, which in addition to having multiple 263 BPM streams, has high spacing jumps comparable to some recent farm maps. Fallen Angel is 4.5 minutes of 265 BPM bursts with some jumps sprinkled in. However, the difficulty mostly comes from the length due to the immense amount of stamina required. Epiphany, unfortunately being a choke, is similar to Fallen Angel, but with a larger emphasis on jumps. This play would have been worth over 900 PP if FC. BS Power Explosion with only one 100 is primarily streams, but has difficult transitions and some old style jumps to keep players on their toes. Goodbye is the only no mod play listed here, and RyuK was the first ever FC on it. Although the first thing you probably think of when you think of Goodbye are the streams, the more daunting parts are the geometric patterns in the sections between the streams. I could write multiple paragraphs about all the interesting scores in his top 100, but that's not the sole purpose of this video. RyuK will probably set another handful of ridiculous scores between the time I'm writing this and when you're viewing it, and I recognize those scores as well. I think RyuK is a shining example of a player that you can learn from both skill-wise and his external view of the game. To quote him from his Twitch stream,
I am not gonna farm. I want to farm maps that you cannot find in any other top player's top plays. Maybe one or two. That's it. Like almost all my plays you can't find on other people's profile.
Although I believe such a harsh perspective on farming can be debated, his desire for setting unique scores has caused him to accrue a library of over 500 number 1 scores, where he is the only DTFC or only one of a few on a majority of those maps. He also has a number of hidden hard rock number 1s from his past as a more aim-oriented player. Playing for skill and allowing the PP to approach him is what allows RyuK to have such a strong attitude during his play sessions. Because he doesn't concentrate on PP, high performance scores are almost like surprises to him that substantiate his skill, instead of being things he expects to earn in order to rank up. His personal expectations are also not devastatingly high. A 750 PP score, which would barely enter his top 60, would be a rewarding score to him because it's highly skill based and 750 PP is a lot of performance points.
Nice! Let's go. 790? 790? Holy shit! Oh my god, I didn't think that was that much PP. Oh my god, I thought it was like 700. Holy shit.
Because of this, he doesn't tilt off the face of the earth as often, enjoys playing the game more and interacting with his chat if he's streaming, and feels rewarded for setting a score that he's proud of. Doing the opposite of playing solely for PP and competitive rankings can become tedious and infuriating when no progress is being made, making the entire experience of playing the game a lot more stressful. To be honest, that's probably the 5th time I've extracted playing for skills and improvement tip in my videos, but if one of the best players in the world is employing that strategy, perhaps you could give it a try. Additionally, playing for skill will naturally optimize your top 100 scores. In fact, RyuK's number 100 play is worth 721 PP, the second highest in the top 10, only behind Whitecat by 1 performance point. He is number 5 in the world and the 5th player to achieve 17,000 PP, not because he could set ridiculous 1000 PP plays on large jump maps, but because he took the time to polish his skills on somewhat lower PP maps that challenge him in multiple ways. The last important thing you can learn from observing RyuK is his healthy appreciation for the game and his perspective of it within his life. All of what I'm about to say about RyuK and his future he said himself on stream. I don't want to sound like I'm predicting his future or revealing sensitive information that only a best friend would know. I happened to be watching at the time, so I wrote down some quick notes because I knew I wanted to talk about him this week. The VOD will be linked in the description, although it might not be available if you're watching a couple weeks down the road. I'm going to paraphrase what he said because all of this was covered over a 10-minute conversation that wouldn't flow smoothly if I were to edit it. When asked about whether or not he wanted to stream full-time, he quickly answered by saying he wanted to pursue a major in astrophysics. After this summer, which will be his last season playing competitively in the ranking system, he'll be focusing more on his education. He doesn't want to quit altogether. He views OS as a good stress reliever and streaming as a fun hobby. He plans on playing occasionally and streaming when he feels like it, but other than that, he would be concentrating on his studies. And while all of that sounds fantastic, there was a time when RyuK was not so comfortable about his position in the OS community. It's probably embarrassing for him if he's watching this video, but nearly 3 years ago he was tempted to quit the game due to it being stereotypically viewed as an anime game. His classmates called him a weeb and, according to him, had thriving social lives, while he wasted his time clicking circles. I believe most people who have played this game somewhat seriously can relate to those sentiments at some point. Well, for one thing, classmates appearing to have idyllic social lives is only because of the advent of social media, where they can select what moments they want to share. Over the past 3 years, RyuK has grown to accept the game and enjoy it for what it is. If you are reluctant to share your OS experiences with your friends, I think some solace can be found in the fact that the best players in the game have dealt with the same thing you have, that you're not alone. So what if you play an anime game? OS makes it really easy to comprehend how good someone is at the game because it's only clicking circles and sliders. You don't need intricate game knowledge of maps, characters, and abilities. You can just watch the circles disappear as a player's cursor travels to them. So even though RyuK's plays look dumbfounding to us seasoned community members, people from the outside are probably just as captivated by your plays. You may be a 5 or 6 digit and not consider yourself good, but it's all about perspective. And hey, I think having a video made about you, where someone else takes a dive into your plays and content, makes you immensely more successful than your classmates' social media ever could be. Not everyone can convince tens of thousands of people to follow them. Be proud of what you can do, because not everyone else can replicate it, anime game or not. Thanks for watching.